Hello everyone. Can you see this board?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt from last class? So we were discussing some experiments and we realized that some experiments cannot be explained by the classical mechanics or the wave optics. And these experiments are black body radiation, and this can be explained using photon nature or particle nature of light. Same thing happens with the photoelectric effect. This also can be explained using photon or particle nature. We also discussed that this interference or diffraction or polarization now these have some mixed scenario. If intensity is high, then you can explain them using wave nature. But if intensity is extremely low, then we see that this phenomena does not occur, or whatever is the pattern that can be explained using the photon particle nature. Okay. So with this all experiment, what we realized that the complete description of, I mean, if we want to try to explain all these things, we have to assume something like this. The wave and particle are not two distinct things. They let's just give me 1 minute. They are not different things. They actually exist together. Means wherever there is a particle, there is a wave. Wherever there is a wave, you can have an equivalent particle concept. In some cases, it is the wave part that describes the experiment. In some cases, it is the particle part that describes the experiment. Okay. Second, precise location of particle or photon cannot be obtained. Like in these cases, we do not know where exactly are the photon. हमें ये नहीं पता कि photon screen पर किस जगह गया. Right? We can only see, I mean, we can only guess their possible locations. And how do we find their possible locations? Using associated wave with the particle. जो भी particle के साथ wave associate है, that will help us to find all the possible locations. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So there is some network problem from my side. So there is no problem with first rule. I mean, at least there is no existing theory which has problem with this concept. जितना भी अभी तक आपने पढ़ा है उसको इस concept से कोई problem नहीं है. Although it's a somewhat strange concept, but we can still accept it. With this concept, Newton has a problem. क्या problem है? According to Newton, we precisely know the position of particle, right? And this is the, let us say, initial position. We apply some force and we again get some precise location of the particle. Whereas quantum mechanics says that precise location does not make any sense here. So this is the first thing that is completely against the Newton's law. In fact, you cannot fit Newton's law with this case. If you do not know the position, how will you apply force and other things? And this third rule tells you that if you do not apply Newton's law, or if you cannot apply Newton's law, then how will you find all the relevant quantities? यदि न्यूटन्स लॉ नहीं लगा सकते हैं तो फिर जो भी फिजिकल आंसर्स है उन और जो भी फिजिकल एक्सप्लेनेशंस है वो कैसे पता करेंगे? So this tells you that all these things, all these information is encoded in the corresponding wave. जितना भी information है उस wave में है, and there are some method to retrieve all these information from that wave. उस wave से आप वो सारी information retrieve कर सकते हैं. कैसे retrieve करेंगे? That we will discuss later. So for each particle we have a corresponding wave with it, right? And this wave it's not a physical wave. I mean, it is not an electromagnetic wave. It is not a sound wave. It is just some hypothetical wave. Okay. In some cases, it matches with the physical wave. कुछ cases में physical wave जैसा दिखती है, like in the case of interference, it behaves same as electromagnetic wave. वहाँ electromagnetic wave की तरह से behave करती है, but हर जगह सही नहीं है. What else do we need to know? और क्या पता करना है इसके बारे में? इसका वेवलेंथ क्या होगा? इसका फ्रीक्वेंसी क्या होगा, राइट? इसका वेलोसिटी क्या होगा? What else do we require about this? Physical quantities from this wave. Let us say I want to know all the possible locations of the photon. मुझे पता करना है कि photons की possible locations कहाँ हैं, या किसी जगह पे होने की क्या probability है. What is the probability of finding a photon at some particular point? How will I retrieve all these information from this wave? Or I want to know the average energy of that photon. So how do I use this wave to find all these things, right? So these many things we need to answer. Which rule or law or equation define this wave? So these are some things that scientists were trying to find out. यदि एक wave motion है particle के साथ, if a wave is associated with the particle, how do we find all these sort of things from that wave? So people were trying to find out answer for such things, and in the meantime, I mean in the parallel, there was some more discoveries. किस तरह की discoveries थी? Now let me go back to this series of experiments. Worth model पढ़ा है आपने? So what does Worth model describe? Discrete spectra of atoms. What does it mean? Let us say you have a metallic atom, I mean something that consists of atoms. If you apply some radiation to it, if you apply some energy to it, what we see, it absorbs some particular energy only. आप जो भी एनर्जी दे रहे हैं, ये उसमें से कुछ पर्टिकुलर एनर्जी को एब्जॉर्ब करता है, बाकियों को छोड़ देता है. और अदरवाइज आल्सो, if you let us say give some energy to it, it emits some particular radiations only. ये कुछ particular radiation ही emit करता है, remaining emissions को छोड़ देता है. Means the spectra, this lambda versus E lambda is not a continuous curve. वो कोई ऐसा कर्व नहीं है. It has a very strange curve. We see some energy emission at this particular wavelength and then no emission. यहाँ पे कुछ emissions दिखता है, then no emission. कुछ emission यहाँ दिखता है and no emission. There is no energy with other wavelengths. Now this is somewhat strange. इसको आप कैसे explain करेंगे? So there was an assumption. क्या assumption था? That this is the nucleus, and around this nucleus, electrons are moving around it. It is same as like this. जैसे sun है, this is sun, and earth is moving around this. But there is a difference between these two. इन दोनों मॉडल्स में एक डिफरेंस है. What is that difference? Let us say somehow the energy of this earth changes. Let us say the energy of earth changes from E to E plus delta E. What does it mean? Now earth will move on a new orbit. अर्थ की जो ऑर्बिट है चेंज हो जाएगी. Let us say this is the new orbit. Okay. हाउ मच इज द परटर्बेशन, कितना परटर्बेशन होगा? दैट परटर्बेशन डिपेंड्स ऑन आपने एनर्जी में कितना चेंज किया. If there is a small change in energy, there is a small perturbation in the orbit. But same is not true with electron system. इलेक्ट्रॉन के केस में ऐसा नहीं है. Means the orbit of electrons are fixed. Electrons की orbit fix है. It can be either in this orbit or this orbit, or let us say this orbit. Means either electron will have energy E1, or it will have energy only E2 or E3. What does it mean? Let us say you give energy delta E. इनिशियल एनर्जी वाज E2. इलेक्ट्रॉन की एनर्जी शुरू में E2 थी, आपने E2 प्लस आपने डेल्टा E और दिया, एंड द फाइनल एनर्जी ऑफ दिस इलेक्ट्रॉन इज E2 plus delta E. Let us say this E2 plus delta E is less than E3. It means that you will think that now electron will move somewhere here. Electron यहाँ कहीं होगा. But that is not true. Means if you give this much energy, if you give delta E energy, electron will not take this energy. Electron इस energy को लेगा ही नहीं. If you give energy delta E is equal to E3 minus E2, then only it will take energy and it will go to next energy level. अर्थ के केस में ऐसा नहीं है. If you give this much energy, it will accordingly choose new orbit. So they assume that electrons are moving in some particular orbits only. You can assume whatever you want, but what is the justification of it? कैसे justify करेंगे इसको? Or what is the rule that defines this discrete orbit? वो क्या rule है जो define करता है discrete orbits को? So according to Bohr, he described that only those orbits are possible where angular momentum, how much is the angular momentum? Let us say this orbit, the distance is r, let us say velocity is v, and it's a circular orbit. Linear momentum is mv, and if I multiply it with the corresponding radius, this is the angular momentum. This angular momentum can have some fixed value only. And what is that fixed value? Either h upon 2 pi, or 2h upon 2 pi, or 3h upon 2 pi, and so on. Or in general, n h upon 2 pi. Means if electron is in first orbit, it will have angular momentum h upon 2 pi. In second orbit, it will have angular momentum 2h upon 2 pi. In third orbit, it will have angular momentum 3h upon 2 pi. So this must be the angular momentum. Angular momentum इसके सिवा कोई और वैल्यू रख ही नहीं सकता. Why? ऐसा क्यों माना गया? No answer. But surprisingly, if you ऐसा मानते हैं, then you can successfully explain all these peaks. यदि आप ऐसा मानते हैं तो आप ये सब एमिशन स्पेक्ट्रा आसानी से डिस्क्राइब कर सकते हैं. बट ऐसा मानने की वजह क्या है? At that time there was no answer for it. उस टाइम इसका कोई आंसर नहीं था. But one thing is sure that energy is behaving like packet. Energy is coming or emit. I mean, energy is either being absorbed or emitted in terms of packets. इतना क्लियर है कि एनर्जी एक पैकेट के फॉर्म में आ रही है और जा रही है, राइट? बट यही नंबर क्यों? इसका कोई आंसर नहीं है. In the parallel, people were trying to answer all these problems. उसी समय के आसपास लोग इन सब सवालों के जवाब भी खोज रहे थे. De Broglie tried to answer these two problems. What is the wavelength and what is the frequency? And according to De Broglie, Please check the spelling. If a particle which is moving with velocity v, and let us say it has energy E, obviously this particle will have some wave associated to it. According to de Broglie, the wavelength of corresponding wave can be given by this formula. And energy means half mv square for non-relativistic particle, or you can also write it as like p square by 2m. P is the linear momentum, is equal to h nu. Nu means frequency. So these were the findings of de Broglie, that for any particle, if you know the velocity, you can also find the corresponding wavelength of the wave. यदि पार्टिकल की वेलोसिटी v है, पार्टिकल v स्पीड से बढ़ रहा है, इसके साथ जो वेव एसोसिएटेड है उसका वेवलेंथ इतना होगा, फ्रीक्वेंसी इतना होगा. Okay, let us see whether this is true or not. So we have this number now. De Broglie wave equations are wavelength is equal to h upon mv, and frequency is equal to h nu is equal to E is equal to p square by 2m. If you see carefully, you can explain Bohr model, or you can explain this condition from de Broglie. जो बोर मॉडल ने सम गेस करके निकाला था या किसी भी टेक्निक से पता किया था without any logic, now this thing can be obtained from these equations. Can anyone think how do we find such a strange condition from these equations? Any guess? या आपने पहले से कुछ पढ़ा हो?
Sir, that one circle is equal to something n into lambda.
Sorry, Bharat, I cannot hear you very clearly. Please speak loudly.
Sir, I can remind something like one circle is equal to n into lambda, and that circle will be 2 pi r.
Right.
Something like that.
Yes. So what was the idea of de Broglie? Something like this. And it was a very basic, very simple idea. All these things are happening around 1800 something or early 1900. ये सब तब का टाइम है जब 1900 के आसपास का, ये उससे थोड़ा पहले का. Let us say this is the orbit. So electrons are moving. Let us say one electron is moving in this orbit. Now, according to de Broglie, there is a wave associated to it. So obviously that wave will also be along this circular path. जो भी wave motion है circular path पर ही होगा. If we have a wave moving in a horizontal path, then this is the left end of the wave. ये left end हो गया, ये right end हो गया. But let us say a wave is moving on a circular path, then now there is a condition on wave. Wave अब restricted हो गई है. What? Why? It has to be continuous everywhere. जैसे यदि वो यहाँ से 0 से स्टार्ट हुआ है, it should come back to 0 so that it is a continuous wave. Or the wavelength now has to have some fixed value. Lambda की अब हर एक arbitrary value काम नहीं कर पाएगी. So lambda can have only some fixed value. And how do we find that fixed value? That depends on the radius of this circle. Let us say how long is this path? 2 pi r. either you can cover this full path in one wavelength only. कैसे बनाएंगे? Let me try. Sorry, it's completely. Let me use two wave to make it. One में बनाना थोड़ा मुश्किल है. So it will be like this. Sorry, something like this. So this is one wavelength. I mean up to here. Start from here, go up, then go down. Up to here it is one wavelength. Then again go up, again go down. This is second wavelength. Okay. और you can have three wavelength. आप तीन भी रख सकते हैं. तीन में क्या situation बनेगा? Something like this. This is one. This is two. This is three. This is one more possible wave, and so on. Okay. But arbitrary wavelength a possible नहीं है. So what are the possible answers for wavelength? 2 pi r can be equal to n lambda only. So when n is equal to 1, it is corresponding to first orbit. N is equal to 2. Now size थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो गया. Even two waves can come in, and so on. What is lambda? Lambda is, according to de Broglie,
h by p.
What do you see? MBR. Right. So something that were obtained by some hit and try, by some guess, without any logic. Now de Broglie explanation have a logical ending to it. de Broglie का जो भी explanation है वो कम से कम से logical end देता है. And this is also now in support of quantum mechanical effect, that wave and particles work together. Okay. So de Broglie wavelength not only explain Bohr's model, it also explain at least two answers. What is the wavelength of this wave? What is the frequency of this wave? What is the velocity? Velocity क्या हो सकती है? Let me give you only half of the answer. Velocity consists of two parts: phase velocity, group velocity. Okay, ये क्या होती है? वेव में कहाँ होती है? We will discuss later. Not now. Maybe in the next lecture or second next lecture. So this much we know about the nature of wave. Now, before we proceed further, let us see the effect of this wave. Let us see behavior of this wave for real life. Real life में इस wave का क्या presence है? Can we feel it or not? क्या हम इसको देख सकते हैं? Can we realize it or not? क्या हम इसको realize कर सकते हैं? So let us say a dust particle. Dust particle क्यों लिया है हमने? It's small, but at the same time large enough to see classical behavior. You can apply Newton's law on dust particle. Dust particle Newton's law follow करेगा. So it's a very small particle, maybe the size is only 1 micrometer or something like this. इसका मास भी काफी कम है, बट एट द सेम टाइम इतना भी कम नहीं है कि आप क्लासिकल बिहेवियर इग्नोर कर दो. सो पॉइंट इज, इफ आई ट्रीट इट इन ए क्वांटम मैकेनिकल वे, यदि मैं इसके करस्पॉन्डिंग वेव को देखना चाहूं, व्हाट विल बी द शेप, किस तरह से होगी, क्या शेप होगी या क्या साइज हो सकता है. मींस आई वांट टू कैलकुलेट wavelength of this wave. So let me use some real numbers so that we can get some real idea. One minute guys, the complement GF. Okay. So we are using a dust particle. The diameter is 1 micrometer and mass is 10 to the minus 15 kg. We have a dust particle. Dust is spherical. Diameter is 1 micrometer and mass is, okay. So this is equivalent to some realistic situation. What is the velocity? कुछ भी ले सकते हैं. Let me see what they took. Okay, so this particle is moving with extremely low velocity. You can take any other number if you want. There is no restriction on v. Okay, if you want, you can take, let us say, some 5 meter per second also. What difference नहीं आएगा. What is lambda now? H upon mv. What is h?
6.6 into 10 power minus 34.
What is m? What is v?
10 power
Let us say
minus
this value, और आप कुछ और भी ले सकते हैं. It hardly make much difference. So this is minus 3, right? How much is this number? So 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 34
15
plus 15 plus 3. These two together 18, and this is
minus 16.
so how much? 16.
Yes, so 16.
So roughly lambda is of the order of 10 to the power minus 16 meter. Let me help you guess this number. This is 1 micro angstrom. एक एंगस्ट्रॉम का भी 1,00,000वां हिस्सा. What is the size of particle? पार्टिकल का साइज क्या है?
Roughly 1 angstrom.
1 micrometer, right?
Yes.
So what we see, this is the scenario. This is the particle and this is the wave. So in case of dust particle, it is the particle and that has the prominence. The corresponding wave nature does not have much effect here. Wave का कोई nature ही नहीं है यहाँ पे with respect to the size of particle. But if we choose the same thing for something like electron, तब क्या होगा? Let me see what they have choose. I think they should also choose electron. So they are talking about neutron. Okay, neutron, not much difference. So neutron has this much mass, 1.67 10 to the minus 27. Velocity. Neutrons are usually do not move much. Neutrons बहुत ज़्यादा move नहीं करते हैं. So what is the velocity? So they are saying that okay, we do not know the velocity, but we can find an estimate of it from the temperature. Let us say temperature is room temperature, P is equal to 300 Kelvin. क्या वेलोसिटी होगा न्यूट्रॉन का या न्यूट्रॉन इक्विवेलेंट पार्टिकल्स का? Half mv square is the energy, and this energy comes from this temperature, which is 3/2 kT. Or v is equal to what? Half cancels, 3 kT upon m, right? They might be using average energy, average speed, I think. They're using the same thing. This is v. What else do we need to know? Nothing. What is the corresponding lambda now? This. Put all the numbers. Let us see what we get. So this is room temperature. 27 degrees centigrade. 6.6 m. So let me write it in one shot. Multiply this with m, so you will get 3 kTm. So this is obviously it's a lengthy calculation. Let me show you the answer directly. How much do they got? So at room temperature, this is the wavelength. Now you can see this wavelength is much bigger than dust particle. Dust particle से 1,00,000 गुना बड़ी है. Here it is 1 microangstrom. Here it is roughly 1 angstrom, right? So now you can see both particles. Let us say this is neutron, and we roughly have the similar size of the wave. So in case of neutron, you will see quantum mechanical effect. Neutron के केस में आपको quantum mechanical effect देखने को मिलेंगे. But for dust particle, it's very unlikely. So that's how this wavelength defines whether you will see quantum mechanical effect or you will see classical effects. You can do the same thing for electrons, but for electrons, you define what is the corresponding velocity. This is the wavelength for corresponding electrons. Okay, so let us say this is the size of electron and this is the size of corresponding wave. So you can say both are comparable. So electrons, neutrons, all these things sometimes show wave-like feature, sometimes they show particle-like feature depending on the problem. But something like as big as this dust particle, it is not possible. Any doubt here?
No, sir. Sir, you have written wavelength of electron is equal to 10 angstrom approximately.
I mean, yes. So, I mean, please go through this. I will provide you this file.
No, sir. The slide which you shown just a few time ago, yeah, that is 12.3 over root
So,
V.
okay, so I did not explain you complete thing. What they are saying that electron का speed कितना होगा? How do you find electron's speed? So they are talking about some experiment that you put some electrons between two electrodes. So what they are doing? The electron is I mean this. They are putting some electron beam between two electrode.
Sir, I think that is not velocity.
So you can calculate velocity from here. Once you know the energy, you can calculate their momentum or velocity, right? Okay, so let me tell you what exactly is happening.
No, sir, I don't wanted to ask this question. I just wanted to say that you have written 10 or but there is 12.3 over root V. I know the explanation, sir.
Okay. So I mean anything of the order of 10 angstrom. I am not going into the precise numbers.
Okay, sir.
This may be 20 also, depending on how much energy are you providing. Okay. So it's just an approximate answer. ये estimate है. Obviously, this number will change according to your experiment.
Okay.
It can go to 20, 30 also. It can go to 5 angstrom also. Here I am saying that lambda is much smaller. Look at the formula. So if I decrease mass, lambda increase. If I decrease velocity or speed, lambda increase. Obviously, if I reduce mass, I am converting dust to electron neutron, right? If m is decreasing, so that is expected. यदि mass कम करेंगे, quantum mechanical effect बढ़ेगा. But if I reduce velocity, then I can increase lambda also. So I can have a wavelength as big as dust particle, right?
Yes.
So does it mean that I can see quantum mechanical effect for dust particle also? If I put v is equal to 0, what is lambda?
Infinity.
It means I can have all the answers from such a small number to infinity. v को चेंज करते जाइए, आपको सारा वेवलेंथ मिलेगा. Any idea what is happening?
No, sir.
Now let me tell you one more very strange thing. इसको भी डाइजेस्ट करना आसान नहीं है, but that is also reality.
Sir, it like energy transformation.
v is equal to 0 is not possible. Sorry, not is equal to 0. v is equal to 0. Now what does it mean? इसका क्या मतलब है? Or in other words,
Lambda cannot be infinity.
no particle in this universe can have zero energy. ऐसा क्यों है? There is no classical answer for this. Yes, any doubt?
I said because it is bound by Earth's gravitational field.
No, it is true in every possible case you have. And there is no reasonable answer behind this. इसके पीछे कोई logic है? I don't think so. But this is an experimental observation also, that zero energy is not possible, but zero velocity is not possible. Yes?
Sir, energy zero नहीं हो सकती, but kinetic energy can be zero.
So this is actually kinetic energy.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Because potential energy is arbitrary. So here I'm actually talking about this part. Now this is somewhat strange. ये थोड़ा सा strange है, इसका कोई proper answer नहीं मिलेगा आपको. But this is also one very strange observation. So you can never ever put this number 0. In fact, इसको 0 के बहुत close भी नहीं ले जा सकते आप. Yes, the lowest limit is quite small. वो इतनी small है कि आप daily life में नहीं देखते हैं. But it cannot go to 0. I think you have heard about this term. आपने इस term को कहीं सुना भी होगा. सुना है पहले कभी? 0 point energy is equal to half h nu.
No, sir.
Okay, no issue. So this is another very strange point, that this energy is not possible. So we have some strange outcome also. Let me write them somewhere.
Sir, what is this 0 point energy?
I cannot explain right now. It's a somewhat technical point. But this thing is somewhere related to, not exactly, and I am not an expert, so I can't claim much. Dark matter or whatever you call it. So this is an assumption that there are experiments which find this 0 point energy. So there is a theory that this universe is filled with some sort of energy which we cannot detect. यूनिवर्स में एनर्जी का एक पीस ऐसा भी है जो खत्म नहीं हो सकता. दिस इज द मिनिमम वैल्यू ऑफ दिस एनर्जी, एंड द मैटर दैट प्रोड्यूस दिस एनर्जी. यदि कोई मैटर है जिसकी वजह से एनर्जी है, वी हैव नो वे टू सी दैट मैटर. कोई तरीका नहीं है उस मैटर को खोजने का, एंड दैट मैटर इज कॉल्ड डार्क मैटर. Okay. So there are some strange things. Classical mechanics has no answer to this. Only this quantum mechanical strange assumption can give you answer. इन assumptions के साथ आपको आंसर तो मिल जाता है, but there is no reasoning behind this assumption. इन assumptions का कोई reasoning आपके पास नहीं है. But yes, quantum mechanics का जो framework है, the set of equations, the way we drive all the things, that support 0 point energy. वो अभी आप पढ़ेंगे क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स के प्रॉब्लम्स को कैसे सॉल्व करते हैं. न्यूटन्स लॉ नहीं है तो क्या लॉ है, वो सब करेंगे तो आपको 0 पॉइंट एनर्जी की प्रेजेंस आपको मिलेगी. सो मैथमेटिक्स सो कैलकुलेशंस सो दैट यस 0 पॉइंट एनर्जी कैन एग्जिस्ट. सम एक्सपेरिमेंट आई थिंक आल्सो सो दैट 0 पॉइंट एनर्जी कैन एग्जिस्ट. बट कहाँ से आ रही है, क्यों है, इसका फिजिक्स नहीं मालूम है. और आई थिंक फिजिक्स इज नोन बट इट इज नॉट इन माई नॉलेज. एटलीस्ट मेरे नॉलेज में ऐसा कोई फिजिक्स नहीं है. The experts from high energy physics can tell you much better about it. यदि इस फील्ड में आपको ज्यादा जानना है, talk any expert in high energy physics. This is their field. They can tell you much more about all these things. So this is the one end of physics where a lot of things are still unknown. ये फिजिक्स का एक ऐसा एंड है जहाँ पे बहुत सारी चीजें आज भी अननोन है. People are still working on it. And the good or bad thing here is that common sense does not work. जो आप common sense से सोचते हैं वो यहाँ पे सही से काम नहीं करता है. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, 0 point energy is like a rest mass energy.
At least when you say rest mass, there is a mass, right?
Yes, sir.
You can see that mass, or you can, I mean, there is a piece of mass that you can work with. But this is something strange. I mean, there is no way you can see its presence. इसकी presence पे आप नहीं feel कर सकते, right?
Okay, sir. Like rest mass is also tends to 0. They are very small.
I mean, it is not a good idea to connect it with rest mass. मैं तो ये कहूँगा इसको rest mass से connect मत कीजिए. Because the another problem is that what is the corresponding mass? यदि आप इसको एनर्जी मानते हैं, कैलकुलेट द मास E/c स्क्वायर. इट्स एक्सट्रीमली स्मॉल नंबर. ये इतना स्मॉल नंबर है कि इसको आप कभी सही से शायद पता भी ना कर पाए. So E is equal to h nu by c square. On the top we have 10 to the minus 34. In the bottom we have 10 to the power 16. What is the order of mass? Minus 34 minus 16. It's a very small number. Right? 10 to the minus 50 kg. So, and second thing, I can't say much about this part. मेरा expertise नहीं है, मैं इसमें आपको बहुत ज़्यादा बता भी नहीं सकता. So someone from this field can give you some good information with good confidence. But I will read, and if I get something, I'll let you know. So there are some strange.
Thank you.
So yes.
Sir, if like in particle, as you say, it have a velocity v, which is very small. Then
Yes.
it have two type of energy. It have one energy is 1/2 mv square, and another one is in form of lambda.
Yes.
Yeah, for wave energy.
Yes.
So, sir, we can harness the both energy if we can.
No. So the thing is this. So when you say can we use both energy, you are assuming that wave and particle are two different things. No. So you can think this is one thing. ये एक ही चीज है. We are having two different interpretations. Sometimes we interpret it in terms of particles. Means particle का मतलब क्या हुआ? You are looking for position, you are looking for velocity. That's how we define particle. Sometimes we interpret the same thing in terms of wave. Wave का मतलब क्या हुआ? Frequency, wavelength. This. So according to de Broglie, how do we connect these numbers with these numbers? Is there any connection between these two? So according to de Broglie, this is the connection. Lambda is h upon mv. Okay, and nu means frequency. Let me use v properly because nu and v look like same. This is v. And what is frequency? Half mv square, energy divided by Planck constant. Okay, so de Broglie just tells you that the particle-like features and wave-like features of the same thing are interconnected by these formula. ऐसा नहीं है कि दो डिफरेंट थिंग एक साथ चल रही हैं and you can use both the things together. वो एक ही है. Whatever energy you are retrieving from particles, same energy wave में है. Okay. So sometimes some experiment work according to wave nature. कुछ एक्सपेरिमेंट वेव नेचर को सपोर्ट करते हैं, दे इग्नोर पार्टिकल लाइक बिहेवियर. कुछ एक्सपेरिमेंट पार्टिकल लाइक बिहेवियर को सपोर्ट करते हैं, दे इग्नोर वेव नेचर. और कुछ एक्सपेरिमेंट दोनों को सपोर्ट करते हैं, लाइक इंटरफेरेंस. एक लिमिट में वेव नेचर डोमिनेट कर रहा है, दूसरे लिमिट में पार्टिकल नेचर डोमिनेट कर रहा है. राइट, एंड दिस इज द कनेक्शन बिटवीन दीज टू. लाइक इन बोर्स मॉडल, व्हाट इज एक्चुअली मूविंग? बोर्स मॉडल में क्या मूव कर रहा है?
इलेक्ट्रॉन.
इलेक्ट्रॉन और वेव.
Electron.
But de Broglie gives all the answer correctly using wave assumption. De Broglie ने wave assumption मान के आंसर दे दिए थे, वो सही भी आ रहे, right? And you know that it is the electron inside the atom. आपको पता है इलेक्ट्रॉन एटम के अंदर है. There are experiments that confirm this thing. So sometimes it's the wave nature that dominates, sometimes it's the particle nature that dominates. कहीं कि दोनों डोमिनेट नहीं करते हैं, बहुत दोनों का इक्वल इफेक्ट आता है. Now with these strange things, let me add something to it, and it is running in parallel. Uncertainty. Uncertainty means We already know that positions are uncertain, and we have some idea of that velocities are also uncertain. Although a complete clear picture नहीं है, but this is also true. Position or momentum, let me call it momentum. Even momentum is not certain. What does it mean? It is difficult to find where is photon or any particle. Precise position हम photon या किसी particle का नहीं पता कर सकते. Not only this, ये भी true है. किसी पार्टिकल का प्रिसाइज मोमेंटम और प्रिसाइज वेलोसिटी भी नहीं पता कर सकते.
सर दोनों एक साथ में पता कर सकते या फिर अलग अलग भी नहीं पता कर सकते?
Now here is a catch, and that catch is given by okay. This is something given by Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Okay. So I am not going to proceed any further. In the next class, we will run three things together or two things together. What is uncertainty principle? क्या मतलब है इसका? And it is somewhere connected to the next thing. What kind of wave it is? Okay. So in the next class, we will start with these two problems. Whatever is this wave, ये जो भी wave है जिसको अभी तक हम बात कर रहे हैं, but नहीं पता है कैसे decide होती है. What is this wave? How is it connected with this Heisenberg uncertainty principle? Or when you say difference between simultaneous measurements, means you are trying to find them at the same time or one after another. In classical mechanics there is no difference. आप चाहे तो दोनों चीज एक साथ पता कर लीजिए, एक के बाद दूसरा पता कीजिए, कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है. बट यहाँ डिफरेंस आता है, right? So there are few things that will run in parallel. Principle, simultaneity का क्या मतलब है, और everything is connected by this wave. सब कुछ इस wave से connected है. So these few things we will discuss in the next class. Okay. Any doubt with this part? यहाँ पे आपको कुछ पूछना है?
Sorry sir, I just got disconnected. What did you say in last about this Heisenberg uncertainty principle? That
So Heisenberg uncertainty principle says, see, we know that it is impossible to find exact location of particle. We see it from interference experiment. We can see it from many other experiment also. Same is true for the momentum also. Means it is impossible to find precise momentum or precise velocity of particle. But these two things are connected together. These things are not independent. And what is the connection between these two? That is given by something Heisenberg uncertainty principle. What is this? That I will explain in the next class. Okay. So these are some sort of strange. They are somewhat technical also. So I will need more time to discuss these things, and I will cover all these things in the next class. Okay. So now you can just 1 minute. Yes, attendance is done. You can leave now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.